Hi, Angela here from the Joy Hut. I just wanted to pop on and share as I was just chatting to my son this morning just about, comparison. He's getting to that age where he's actually, comparing himself quite a bit to his peers at school and, wanting to fit in and wanting to belong, which is a very, very predominant human need around those ages to make sure that we're part of a tribe, especially being boys. I've noticed he's got into really wanting to, figure out his place within that community that he's got going on in the playground as well. And he's doing that in the family situation as well. Where do I stand here? Where do I fit? And so I was speaking to him about comparison because he's comparing himself a lot, not only on how he looks, but also his writing and what that looks like, or the outcomes that he's getting, and if he's not getting it fast enough in comparison to some of the kids at school, or just that real almost competition type stance on things. And one thing about comparison is that I know from personal experience of going through life and, comparing myself because I may have been worried about what people might think of me, or, making sure that I am safe and I'm okay in certain situations, that I'm not going to be rejected. And then, becoming unwell with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, where I got to the point where I couldn't compare myself to anybody because this was all new, and I didn't know anybody who was going through what I was going through, being sick for years and trying to figure out and navigate a way out of that, with my own body to rely on and my own mind to rely on, and the way that I was thinking about things. And so I used to look at, well, the comparison being something that was really killing my self-esteem, because if you're comparing in a very negative way, in which you're saying to yourself, I'm not good enough because I'm not that, then that's really detrimental to not only your emotional health and your mental health, but also your physical health. It can really take its toll on the body, and it can really cause a lot of energetic rejection that goes on, which really blocks the flow and the energy within your system. And so by comparing yourself in a useful way is much more productive. So what I mean by that is when we actually compare ourselves for improvement, that helps us to be able to focus more on what we want to become. And so we can't really know what we want sometimes without knowing what we don't want first. It's kind of like saying, well, you know what, I'm going to try this piece of food, and I'm going to see whether I like it. And if I like it, I'm going to keep eating it. But if I don't like it, then I'm going to want something else. And so by process of elimination, we often compare things all the time, and that can be a really good thing. So I said to my son, like, when you choose to compare yourself, make sure that you know what your intention is of comparison, because if you're doing it for your self-esteem, it's the biggest killer, of the self-esteem. But if you're doing it to grow, and you're doing it to really hone in on what it is that you want to focus more of becoming, then that's a really good thing, because our brains will compare, to what we're doing now to the potential possibilities of our decisions. It will compare all the time. And so I just wanted to, share this little conversation that I had with my son, because, when we open up the possibilities of this strategy of comparison being actually a really good thing for us, and how do we compare to improve? Because I know that people have talked about comparing to improve all the time, but what does that really mean? It means, okay, so if I'm comparing something and I go, I want more of that, or I don't want more of that because I don't like something about that, then we can choose our direction of our focus from there. So then we can go, okay, so now I need to concentrate more on putting my energy this way, or now I need to concentrate on more, how do I become, this, so that I've got more of this trait? How do I become more confident? How do I, be that person that might be standing up at the front of the classroom and giving that really cool speech that I feel terrified about, and doing it in a way where I feel more and more comfortable. So it's that growth and that learning and the evolution through comparison. So I want you to take a look at some of the things that you compare yourself a lot with, some of the people you compare yourself a lot with. What is it about them that you're wanting to improve upon, that you see in them that maybe you don't feel you're strong enough within yourself? So in the meantime, have an amazing day. And just the awareness around that and the consciousness around comparison is going to be something that can really propel you forward in your daily life and in the decisions that you're making for you without beating yourself up. So go forth and, create some joy out there by being who you really are. Talk to you soon.